My name is Nelson, and I'll be hosting Rail. Rail is actually the regional manager for Africa for DIFC. DIFC is Dublin International Foundation College, and they run pathway programs for undergrad and postgraduate. So for those who are considering, I'm a third class, you have an HND, or you want to start up a degree, you're interested in studying medicine in Ireland, or you're interested in going for a foundation program, then you can actually talk to Ray. So Ray will be telling us a lot about DIFC today. So he will tell us how much it is to study in DIFC, he will tell us what it is to study in Ireland, and also tell us a little bit about Ireland before we're waiting for Ray to actually join us on our live section today. Ray, if you can hear me, you can just quickly send your request so you can actually join the live section today. So we're waiting for some. I can see some people are joining us. So let's. Ray, if you can actually hear me, you can just join. Just a second. Okay, that's Hi, okay. Hi, Ray.
Hello, finally.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Nelson?
I'm alright. Good to see your face again.
Yeah, good to see you. I'm sorry I can't be there in Lagos, but until things calm down a little bit, everybody's working from home currently.
Exactly. Okay, Ray, let's just, a lot of people are waiting, or a lot of people have actually joined the live section, and so a lot of people will be asking you questions about Ray. First, you need to start by telling us what is DIFC and what packages or offers DIFC has to offer those who are coming to Ireland to study.
No problem at all. So, hello everybody at Cabo. You're very welcome. My name is Ray Halpin, and I am the Education Recruitment Manager for DIFC in Ireland. So DIFC is the largest foundation college in Ireland, and we offer pathways to universities, colleges, institutes of technology in Ireland, but also to universities in the UK, the USA, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. And 8 of our partner universities are ranked in the top 100 in the world. So very simply, we offer undergraduate foundation programs leading to year 1, and we also offer a pre-master's program, which I'll talk a little bit about more in a few minutes. So at undergraduate level, we have 4 main programs. So the first program is health science, which is leading to medicine, dentistry, nursing. Then we have a program in engineering and technology, which programs like engineering, computer science, IT, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. A program in science, which leads to science degrees plus pharmacy, veterinary, and psychology. And then a program in business and management. And this program leads to accounting, finance, law, economics, marketing, government jobs. So really there's a large range of programs. And after you study at DIFC, there's over 4,000 programs you can apply to. Now, where foundation is really beneficial to students is we help you to choose the right university. And that doesn't always just mean choosing the top university. Sometimes it means choosing what your parents can afford and what your own personal interests and hobbies are. You know, if you want to work during your undergraduate degree, so you're looking at work opportunities both during your degree and also post-study as well. And many other factors like what are the facilities like at the university, you know, what are your interests, whether you're into sport or music or drama or art, you know, so there's a lot of factors that we talk to students. But I've been in many high schools in Nigeria over the last 6 years, you know, and I know that in high school you've got a gate, you've got a guard, you know, and you can't really leave the school. When you get to university, there's no guard, there's no gate, there's nobody telling you to get up and, you know, go to lectures or do your assignments. So what we will teach you at foundation level is that independent learning to help you stand on your own 2 feet when you get to university. And that's a huge part about what we do in terms of the personalized guidance, personalized support, you know, applications to university, helping you to secure your offers, write your personal statements. You know, if you're applying for programs like medicine, helping you prepare for interviews. If you're applying for programs like architecture or art, you know, talking to you about your portfolio. So there's a lot of different things that we do that will really help you to prepare for university. The entry requirements for Nigerian students, we accept WIAC, we accept NECO, we accept IGCSEs, we accept IB, we accept American AP high school curriculum. So really, you know, there's not something that people can be studying in Nigeria that we wouldn't accept. You're in very safe hands with Nelson and the team at Nexi. You know, I've worked with Nelson personally for over 6 years, you know, and he will be one of the people I would trust quite a lot in Nigeria. So in terms of getting the right advice and the right support, you know, to make your application and to make your decisions, you know, you couldn't be in safer hands than with Nelson and the team.
Okay, great. Thank you for that information. Could you please just talk about the nursing program? I know a lot of people will be interested in the nursing program. Can you just talk about the nursing program?
Yeah, absolutely. So nursing at undergraduate level is a little bit complicated because for students who have studied at undergraduate level, it's very difficult to get nursing places in Ireland. And that's not to do with the universities, that's to do with the health service and the kind of jobs that are available. So there are very limited spaces available for nursing at undergraduate level with the Irish university. However, we do have some pathways to some of our other partners like Bradford, like Manchester Metropolitan University, and also if people are looking for a more affordable option, Lithuania Health Science University. So there are pathways at undergraduate level. On the postgraduate side, it really depends on what the student has studied. So there is what's called a top-up program, where if you have a diploma, you can top up to a degree, but it's really, that's looked at on a case-by-case basis to see. And also, the student must be a certified nurse in Nigeria as well. So it's not just a case of saying, oh, I've got a diploma, you know, and I'd like to top up to a degree. So you're better off checking on the postgraduate side, really case by case for nursing. But yes, there are absolutely opportunities. And we do have some specialized pathways, you know, like medicine, like nursing, like dentistry, like pharmacy, you know, and in public health. So in these instances, you're best to speak to Nexi to let them know what you're looking to study and maybe what your budget is. And then what I can do is I can give you specific advice that just relates to you. Like a really simple example would be a student who wants to study pharmacy, you know, and the first thing they will ask is, okay, well, what are the scholarships? So what I would do then is outline what kind of scholarships that you can avail of, maybe with some of the NCUK partners in the UK or somebody like UCC in Ireland, where the pharmacy course fee at UCC is a 5-year program and it's €20,000 per year, but you can qualify for a €5,000 scholarship each year. And at the end of the program, you're educated to master's level. So it's an MPharm program, and it means that you can stay in Ireland for 2 years post-study with the post-study work visa, and they have 100% success at placing their students into employment after completion of the program. And the starting salary is €50,000 per year. So it's really, it's not just one answer fits every question. Sometimes there's different considerations for people, and it's really talking about, you know, the different types of programs. So if you're looking at a program like law, you know, do you want to study at Griffith College, or do you want to study at the University of Manchester? Because there are going to be different entry requirements, and the programs are going to be different. Do you want to study law with politics? Do you want to study criminal law or civil law, you know, or law with media? So there's different questions, and we have to understand what the students want and what the parents want. You know, sometimes a parent wants their child to be a doctor, but the child wants to be a fashion designer. You know, so we've got to talk to people and find out what's the most important decisions for them. And then it's my job to give them the right information, so as a family, they can make the right decision. And then with consultation between NEXI and DIFC and the family, you know, we can give them that information.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that information. But I want to find out something. A parent asked me if DIFC offers installments. Is there any installment plan for payment of fees?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's a great question. So most universities don't offer any kind of payment plan, but DIFC do. So what we do at DIFC is you must pay at least €6,500 in the beginning. And the reason for that is that's the amount that's set by the Irish government before you can apply for a visa. So if you pay €6,500, two things will happen. First of all, that confirms your place at DIFC. And secondly, it means that the family, NEXI and DIFC, can start working on your visa application. So in terms of paying the balance of fees, our program this year will start on the 4th of October. So students can either pay the balance of fees when they get their visa or when they travel to Ireland, as long as their fees are paid by the end of November. Okay? So they can pay the balance of their fees even 2 months after they've started the program. We also have a January start, which induction starts on the 4th of January, and the classes start on the 10th of January. And if you come for the January program, the same principle applies. So you can pay $6,500, apply for your visa, get your visa successful, pay your balance on arrival, or up until the end of February. So you've got another 2 months after the program starts before you have to pay the balance of your fees. Now, what's really important for people to understand if they go down this route is two things. One is you cannot sit exams until until all your fees have been paid. So it's important if people do this plan, they stick to it. The second thing is you need to make sure, your parents really need to make sure that the finances and everything are perfectly in place, you know, to support your living expenses, your cost of accommodation, and the balance of fees that are still owed to DIFC, because the visa office will look quite seriously at this.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so what would you tell parents who are considering Ireland, those who want to send their kids? A lot of people are a bit skeptical. Oh, why should I send my kids to Ireland? Why not send my kids to Canada? Why not send my kids to the UK? So what would you say about, or what would interest them about Ireland?
Well, I think that, like, if you decide that you want to go to Canada, you know, I'm never going to try and talk somebody out of going to a country. But, you know, if you decide you want to go to the UK, you want to go to the UK. But by coming to DIFC in Ireland, you can still go to Canada. You can still go to the UK if that's what you really want. You have more options open. And really, the proof is in, you know, the results. 75% of our students choose to stay in Ireland. If you asked me at the very start, at the beginning, when maybe 50% of these students, or maybe only 40% of these students, want to actually study in Ireland long term. They decided they want to go to the USA, they want to go to the UK, you know. But why do they want to go to the UK? Maybe they follow Manchester United or they follow Liverpool. Why do they want to go to the USA? Maybe because they know LeBron James or the NBA. You know, it's not real reason. When they come to Ireland and start to study here, they fall in love with the place and they realize, whoa, this university has everything that I need. You know, if you look at all the cities in the world and think about all of the cities from Lagos to Sydney to New York to London to Paris to Rome to Dublin, 3 of the top 4 friendliest cities in the entire world are in Ireland. Okay, so Dublin is number 3, Cork is number 4, and Galway is number 1. Number 2 is a city in the USA in North Carolina. So in terms of, you know, if you look at the way the world is right now, and there's no getting away from this, so it's best to tackle it head on. You know, there have been some issues, as we know, in terms of issues in the States, especially with racism and shootings and things like that. You know, issues in the UK with Brexit, you know, and the complications that means in terms of getting jobs post-study, you know, access to Europe and things like that. You don't have those issues with Ireland. We're a neutral country, we're a safe country, you know, and we're a friendly country. And what people want, especially parents, more than anything, is for their kids to be safe.
And this is the most important thing most parents are actually looking at. They're looking at where they can actually send their kids to, and they'll be rest assured that that child or that their kids are actually in safe hands. And that's what Ray is just saying, that Ireland is actually a peaceful and a beautiful place where you can actually send your kids to, and then you're rest assured that they are safe and they're doing well. Now, Ray,
Now,
could you just...
obviously, Nelson, there's some emotional reasons, you know, but there are some practical reasons as well, and very important ones. You know, Ireland is considered to be the land of saints and scholars. That's what it's known as around the world, which means that we have a very high quality education system, but at an affordable price. So if you compare it to somewhere like the UK, we're about 25% less expensive than the UK. And the UK is considered less expensive than Australia, which is considered less expensive than the United States. So when you compare us to somewhere with, like the United States, there's a huge difference in terms of the fees that parents will have to pay for an undergraduate degree for their child. Another big thing is the connection to industry. So what do I mean by that? I mean that Ireland is very well known for its connection to industry in terms of jobs. So a lot of the big global European or big global companies choose to have their European headquarters in Ireland. The likes of Google, Facebook, Pfizer, Twitter, Oracle, LinkedIn, PayPal, Hewlett-Packard, Intel, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Eli Lilly, Grifols, Boston Scientific. The list is endless of the companies that choose to have the European headquarters in Ireland. So in terms of the chances to get a job, you know, Ireland has been the top performing economy in Europe for 7 years leading up to the coronavirus, you know, which means that per head, per capita, you have the best chance of secure employment, you know, both during your studies, but also post-study as well. And these are important factors for people to consider. If you're looking at then, you know, permanent residency, after 5 years working in Ireland, you can apply for permanent residency. And the Nigerian community continues to grow every single year in Ireland, you know, year after year.
That's a beautiful one. Thank you for... I think those who have questions, obviously, you just cleared their doubts. Okay, could you just talk about the postgraduate pathway programs? I know a lot of people who are on these live sections are either graduates or those who are considering Ireland. Could you talk about the postgraduate pathway program?
Yeah, and that's a great question, because postgraduate with Nigerian students is a little bit complicated, okay? And I'll explain why. So if you have a first class or a second class degree, you do not need pre-masters. You do not need DIFC. And anybody who tells you need a pre-masters, just tell them no. Thank you, I don't need it. You can apply for a master's directly and you will get a place. It will depend on your GPA, possibly your work experience, but you don't need to take a pre-master's program. If you have a HND, that does not qualify for a pre-master's program. So none of the universities in Ireland or the UK will recognize HND the same as a bachelor's degree. So where pre-masters is actually useful, and the only place that it really does help Nigerian students, is a student with a third class degree. A student with a third class degree is going to find it very difficult to get a master's place directly, if not impossible. So that's where pre-masters is really beneficial. But you have to realize your progression options are still very, very limited. So in Ireland, we work very closely with Griffith College. They're the only college that will accept a third class degree plus pre-masters as an option to join their master's program. There are some other options with other colleges, like Athlone Institute of Technology, IT Carlow, Griffith College, where with a HND, instead of taking a pre-masters, you can actually take a conversion program, which is like a top-up program, which leads on to a master's. So there are different options for third class degree holders and HND. And if you check with Nelson and Nick, they can check with me and I can advise what's the best option for a particular student based on what they've studied at undergraduate level and also what they want to study at postgraduate level too.
Okay, all right. Great, thank you for that explanation. Well explained. Okay, so what age, or what's the age limit for, is there an age limit for the postgraduate pathway?
Yeah, another great question. So there's no upper age limit, okay? At undergraduate level, there is a minimum age limit of 17. So you must be 17 by the time you arrive. So you can apply if you're 16, as long as you turn 17 before the start date of the program. Again, at undergraduate level and postgraduate level, there's no upper limit. Like 2 years ago, we had a 39-year-old Omani student studying IFI medicine. You know, her dream is still to be a doctor, and there's nothing to stop her dreams, even though she's 20 years older than the rest of her classmates. You know, it's still fine. You know, we're never going to try and stop anybody's dreams. At postgraduate level, what's really, really important is that there are no gaps in your CV, okay? So if you want to study, you know, and you've been working, or even if you've been lying on your bed at home for 2 years, that needs to be documented, because it will make the visa office nervous if there are gaps in your work experience or your study, because they don't know what you've been doing. And it's not their job to go looking for information. You know, it's your job to provide them with the correct information.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Ray. I sincerely, you've really spoken well, and you've said so many things. You've passed out so many information that obviously anybody who sits down to listen to this will have a better understanding of where you're coming from. Okay, lastly, I want to find out now maybe you should talk about the 2 years, the post-study work visa for those who complete their program in Ireland. Can you just throw more light on that?
Yeah, so what happens is the post-study rules in Ireland, after undergraduate level, you can stay for 1 year. After you complete a master's in Ireland or a PhD, you can stay for 2 years. And what that means is, quite simply, you don't have to rush to take the first job that you're offered, you know, because if you finish your master's and you just want to take the first job to extend your visa, maybe you take a job that you don't like. But having a 2-year automatic extension means you can take some time, take a couple of months to find the right job. And then, you know, you have your visa extended for 2 years. What you can do then is with the company. So if you're working for one of the companies that I mentioned, you know, or even a small company, they can actually apply to sponsor your visa further so you can stay, you know, and after another 3 years, so after you've been working in Ireland for 5 years, you can then apply for permanent residency if you wish.
Okay, that's fine. So does DIFC offers accommodation? What about the accommodation? Does DIFC have any plans for accommodation for students who are coming to DIFC?
Yeah, so there's a number of different accommodation options. I should have mentioned where we're based now. Obviously, Nelson and Nexi would know this, but for people who are joining the live stream, we're actually based in Griffith College campus in Dublin city centre. And Griffith College have on-campus accommodation, which all of our students can apply for, and that's no problem. We also have quite a close relationship with UniNest Newmill, which is about a 10-minute walk from campus. and they have a number of purpose-built student accommodation blocks all over Dublin. But this one particularly is quite close to campus. And the idea this year is that they're going to try and have all of the DIFC students on the same floors. You know, so you will be close to your other students that you're in class with. And it means that you can create study groups and things like that together. You know, so we think this is a really great initiative. Before COVID, before what we're all living through for the last 14 or 15 months, homestay would have been a very popular option with a lot of parents and students, where you can live with an Irish host family. Obviously, right now, that's not so popular. Students don't really want to go and live with a stranger, given everything that's going on around the world. But we're hopeful after the vaccine rollout, you know, things will start to return to normal, and that more students will start to look again for homestay, and that the homestay hosts will also be more comfortable to take students back in. With that option, the things that are included are like meals, breakfast and dinner, you know, your Wi-Fi, your laundry, everything like that as well. So it is quite a convenient option. But again, we will run through all of these options with people. And if anybody's listening today and they want to have a Zoom call with me one-on-one, you know, with Nexi and myself and their parents, you know, to ask those questions that they want to know, you know, what's happening with COVID, what our class is going to be like next year, all these questions that parents will have, you know, I'm more than happy to do that and put your parents' mind especially at rest if you really want to come to DIFC.
All right, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Ray, for that information. Really appreciate that. So, as many of you listening and you are interested in going to DIFC, probably you've actually heard it from Ray. So, if you're a parent and you want your child to actually study at DIFC, or probably you want to have a conversation with Ray, or you want to have a video call with Ray, is always available to answer those questions. Ray, I want to say thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the time. Thank you for your time. And I want to say thank you for coming on the live section and passing out this information to us and to those who are listening. Is there anything you want to say to those who are coming to Ireland in September?
I just want to say to you, Nelson, and to Nexi, Eshe, thank you very much. Thank you for your continued support of DIFC. You know, we all know that it's been a difficult year, but we are starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. I look forward to being able to come back to Lagos and to see yourself and Folashade once again. You know, and in the meantime, if I can help, you know, please feel free to contact me. To the students and parents that are listening, I would just like to reiterate what I said. You know, I've worked with Nelson and Nexi for 6 years. So I trust them a lot. And if you contact Nelson, he can put you directly in touch with me, maybe through WhatsApp initially. And then we can arrange that, you know, those Zoom calls where we can talk about your own particular set of circumstances, or what your father and mother want to hear, or if you're a mum and dad listening right now, you know, to really discuss the options that are going to be best for your child. So thank you very much. Please stay safe, everybody. And I look forward to the restrictions being lifted and being able to get back to Lagos and Abuja as soon as possible.
Yeah. Oh, somebody just asked and said they want to chat with Ray after the program. Okay, you can just drop us a direct message and we'll probably link you up with Ray so you can chat him up directly.
Yeah, and that's probably the best way to do it, is if they contact you, Nelson, then you can check with them and you can give them my WhatsApp, you know, and we can arrange chats from there with whoever needs it.
All right, thank you, Ray. Thank you so much for this, and we hope to see more of you again.
No problem, and enjoy the rest of your day, Nelson, and thanks again for.
And you too. Bye.
As we say in Irish,
bye, Nigeria. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Cheers.